This is The Wire for 1500 Zulu, November 24th, 2023. Precedence is routine. Information cutoff is 1430. Bottom line up front. Rioting in Ireland follows terror attack. Niagara incident likely not terrorism. Beginning with international events, in Ireland, a stabbing attack in Dublin injures several children near a school in Parnell Square East. The assailant was reportedly an immigrant from Algeria. Following the attack, heavy rioting has broken out as anti-immigration sentiments reach a tipping point. The lackluster response from politicians regarding both the initial terrorist attack and the larger immigration issue has resulted in further escalation among the populace. In France, details emerged following the stabbing attack in Crépole, France a few days ago. In choosing a target, the 20-plus attackers specifically told the victims during the incident that the attack was racially motivated. 17 were wounded, 1 was killed in the attack. In the Middle East, attacks against U.S. military presence in the region continues to escalate. Various insurgent and/or state-sponsored groups have targeted U.S. military bases regularly in Iraq and Syria since the Israeli war began in earnest. U.S. Navy vessels continue to both be directly targeted by insurgents, in addition to providing missile defense in the Red Sea. In Israel, a 4-day ceasefire allegedly has gone into effect. As of the first few hours, the ceasefire appears to be holding. On the home front, in New York, follow-on information regarding the Rainbow Bridge explosion incident indicate the vehicle in question was not traveling into the U.S. through the checkpoint, but was traveling along the road towards the checkpoint on the U.S. side of the border. Officials have been slow in releasing details, but based on statements so far, this incident is likely not terrorism. However, it is unclear as to what caused the vehicle to approach the border crossing at high speed, which resulted in an explosion. It is not clear if the incident was intentional or accidental. In Kentucky, a train derailment results in a sulfur spill in the vicinity of Livingston. A state of emergency has been declared, and evacuations have been encouraged for the towns of Livingston and Piney Branch due to the hazardous nature of the spill. Analyst comments for this wire. Administrative note. Thankfully, the New York incident is likely not a deliberate attack. This does not mean that the incident was completely benign either. There is enough analytical uncertainty to assess that this incident is not as cut and dry as one might think. Based on the rapid involvement of multiple counterterrorism agencies, officials clearly thought this was a more complex, deliberate terror attack at first. Authorities are still very tight-lipped regarding the circumstances of the event, leading to increased doubts of the official story. Right now, it seems unlikely that the explosion was the result of a high-order HME or homemade explosive blast. However, statements are still somewhat conflicting as to whether or not traces of explosives were or were not found among the debris. Though the details of this incident are sketchy at best, this is a great learning opportunity for all. The concepts of risk assessment and reticence are lacking from much public discourse surrounding similar events. For many people, narrative-shaping operations take priority over basic concerns for safety and situational awareness. As people rush to debunk one detail or another, many lose sight of perspective and the art of balancing information in today's unique threat environment. Having genuine concern regarding potential terror attacks is legitimate, but sensationalizing fear is not productive. Having concern for false flag attacks is justified, but doing so to the point of downplaying genuine terror threats is not a good idea. Finger-pointing does no good in the heat of the moment. Neither does shaming people for increasing their threat posture appropriately in response to what real-time operational intelligence suggested might have been a more substantial event. This is not sensationalism, this is operational prudence. Sometimes events turn out to be nothing, but sometimes not. As potentially life-altering incidents become more daily occurrences, having the open mind to rationally assess risk and change threat postures accordingly is a very valuable skill. This concludes The Wire for 1500 Zulu, November 24th, 2023.